Thank you. Good night. And then the loop comes back in.
Dude, people ain't ready for that. Some people are like, what are these guys talking about?
Good night. It was the first song. Lawrence, I'm upset with Prince. How much did you pay for this ticket?
I thought he was gonna play "Take Me With You." No, I was in Deer River, man. I was in Deer River, and dude, Prince just tore it up, dude. Fans, like 20,000 people, amphitheater, Deer River, just tears it up. The dude's
Deer
like,
River is where?
Indianapolis. And dude, I was there, and I drove up there like $120 to get there and back in a cab. And Prince is just like jamming on the bass. He's like, face down. He's like, take your children out of the building, right? Face down. It's just dope, right? And after the show, I was waiting for my cab because I had to get all the way back in the city.
I believe I talked to you when you were waiting for your cab.
Yeah. And I was like, what'd you guys think of that show? It was so great. And she was like, I thought he'd play more from Purple Rain. I was like, damn, dude. Y'all don't know.
Some people don't know.
If you don't know, you better ask somebody. This is Paisley Nights, and we are chronicling the days of wild. I am Mark Bonde. I am here with my co-host,
DJ Dudley D.
And we are telling the stories of Paisley Park. It was a happening spot, man. It was a happening spot.
Sometimes no words. There's too many words.
No words. It gives you silence. So Prince, for those that are listening first time, what have you, Prince used to open the doors of his recording studio in Chanhassen, Minnesota, Paisley Park, up to everyday people. So he would have parties where he'd listen to music and have DJs, and people would be dancing, and he would perform and sell tickets. And I mean, sometimes these parties had like 10 people at them. Sometimes they had 1,000 people at them. Sometimes celebrities showed up, man. Chris Rock and No Doubt was there. Gwen Stefani up in the house, dude. Lenny Kravitz dancing on the dance floor. Just cool people doing cool stuff.
Funky people too, like George Clinton.
Oh, George Clinton was there, man. George Clinton was there. That dude was a trip, man. I'll tell you, he might have been like hitting the sauce sometimes.
Oh yeah,
just saying. George always had a certain look to him. I was like, oh, George getting it on. Well, it's been a minute, man. We have not been on the episode thing for a little while.
Sorry,
took a little hiatus.
We're back.
We're back. But this is how Paisley used to roll, right? It's like we'd be like party, like Saturday, Friday, week after week, month after month. There'd be all these things happening, and then Prince would do what?
Go silent.
And we'd just be like, what the heck just happened? And like, I mean, there'd be long breaks of time without a party, dude. Sometimes it'd be a month, sometimes it'd be 2 months, sometimes it'd be 9 months.
And then you start itching.
Yeah, then you start getting that Paisley itch, man. Back in the 2000s, there was just years where nothing was happening. So, shoot, Paisley Nights is like that. We just, all of a sudden, we just dropping out of the blue. Something's happening. New episode. Here we come. So we've been busy. Dudley D's been out there. He went out and bought a house. So congratulations to DJ Dudley D. Home ownership. It's gonna be awesome. Party at Dudley's. So Dudley bought a house.
I'm gonna get my house in order.
He's got to get his house in order. He's got to sell that tape. Know when he got that tape? So Dudley D's got to go sell that tape and get that house in order. So congratulations to him. And summer's just been busy, and we've been doing our thing. So we're back at it. We've been working hard. I've been out on the streets pounding the pavement, and I have found our first sponsor.
There we go.
Boom. We got a sponsor.
Which also, coincidence, coinkadink. was our first guest.
It was our first guest. So our first sponsor is William Drew Photography. This guy takes beautiful pictures of Minneapolis, Disney World. They are just ridiculously awesome. So
you probably know him as Bill.
You probably know him as Bill. Episode 2, go check out that stuff out. He's got Prince stories coming out his ear, so he's a Prince fan. He knows all the stuff. He's fantastic, and he is a heck of an artist. So
what is he doing? How's he sponsoring us?
How's he sponsoring us? So if you go to his website, WilliamDrewPhotography.com, you can find him on Facebook too, WilliamDrewPhotography.com. He is providing promotional discount of $19.99, 19.99%, go figure, for those that write in Paisley Nights into the promo code. So put that in there. You'll get some stuff from Bill if you want to buy stuff. If you do buy stuff, shoot him a note, tell him we sent you.
He takes all of his pictures with the toss away cameras. Just kidding.
No, it's fantastic stuff, and the pictures are beautiful. So if you're out there from wherever and you're into Prince and you want a beautiful picture of Minneapolis, this dude's got him. He's got purple Minneapolis too, man. It's beautiful stuff. Go check him out, WilliamDrewPhotography.com. So we got our first sponsor. Fantastic. Check out episode 2 with Bill. We also did the last episode with Jonathan Carter. I mean, that was an epic episode, Dudley.
That was crazy.
I can't believe Jonathan Carter sat right here and told us about how he used to fly back from Stanford to go see shows.
Yeah, for sure.
For a day. I mean, and this dude, for those that don't know, go listen to the episode. This dude was like Paisley Park parties would not have been the same, and the experiences that we're talking about as part of this podcast would never have been what they were it not for Jonathan Carter. Like, this dude was like a linchpin.
And you're not
in
listening
the whole thing.
to us right now.
What?
You're not listening to us.
Yeah, you're not listening right now. Like, we don't know what's going on, dude. We don't know the parties are happening, dude. It was like https.stanford.edu- all these little squiggly lines. I had that memorized, and Jonathan would hit the spot. So what was your favorite part of the episode, Dudley? What was the thing that was just like, bam, Jonathan hit it for me?
I don't know what part hit it for me, but I mean, parts that stood out to me, obviously it was super cool. Like we just talked about the website, and I remember reading his reviews on Prince.org. I believe some of them might have been uncovered yet, but I'm not totally sure. But reading his reviews were amazing, and just knowing that he was flying back from Stanford and just putting in so much effort, it was awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, that was like, you'd get done with the show, and then like the next week, as Jonathan wrote these things up, like you'd read the story that he was writing, and then you'd be like, I know who this dude is, because Jonathan's tall. Oh, yeah. Jonathan stands out like above a crowd, right? So it's just like you kind of knew who he was, you knew his story.
And he was always there.
And he was always there, and he was always rocking that Stanford hoodie, and you'd just be like, all right, I know this dude. So the fact that like we got to know him over the years, got to talk to him, and like that he was sitting right here on this microphone talking to us, telling the stories, is amazing. I'll tell you, for me, what was really interesting is the whole Sign of the Times deal. Oh, yeah. Like, him and I had talked about it over the years, but I didn't know Prince was paying people. I didn't know about the movement of the crowd from one section to the next section to the next section. And I mean, he is immortal, man. He's in the scenes at Paisley Park for Sign of the Times. I mean, it's just fantastic.
Unreal
Stuff. And I was like, so they played Forever in My Life multiple times, and you were there? And he said, I was there. And I mean, it's crazy. So I encourage you to go listen to that episode. I mean, Jonathan was a stalwart within the Paisley Park scene, and he was just, he did it for years, man. He literally always out there.
Yeah, all the time.
Always out there. I mean, freaks on this side. So he was representing. Yep. So, we left off kind of in our story in episode 9. We were talking about, kind of that fall of 95 time frame, rolling through. Rock and roll is alive, and it lives in Minneapolis, and Steve Vai hanging out there. And we talked a little bit about the Gold experience. We were out there for that video shoot. You can see me jumping up and down in the crowd scenes with my glasses.
The endorphin machine set was set up when we were going out there.
Yeah, it was crazy times, man. And those were good videos. And they had you remember the VH1 Love for One Another shoot?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Because that was a really cool deal, right? And if y'all will recall, there was a guy by the name of Dave Chapelle.
Yeah.
who did a mini set. So this is 1995, and this is before Dave Chapelle is Dave Chapelle, right?
Right.
And we know how it ends, right? It's the Dave Chapelle skit.
Or how it's going.
Yeah, the trajectory of it all, right?
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
so I'm just saying, like, you got the Dave Chapelle skit where Dave Chapelle, you know,
Right.
pancakes and bathing himself in the waters of Lake
Right.
Minnetonka. And I mean, one of the most famous sketches of all time related to Prince. I mean, Dave Chapelle brought it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then Prince comes back at him later on in his career because Dave Chappelle did his thing, right?
Right.
And then Prince takes Dave Chappelle image and puts it on the Breakfast Can Wait
Right.
CD. Just, you know, and Dave Chappelle, that quote, he's just like, checkmate. I wish I could do Dave Chappelle voice. He's just like, checkmate. What are you gonna do? You know, Prince got you and got you back, and that's where it ends, right? Is Dave Chappelle, and he came and did after Prince died. He was doing First Avenue, and he did this gig, man, and he had like the kindest words to say, just like as he closed his set. He's like, "We lost a great one," and it was just like. It was like a real beautiful thing. Like you can tell that dude was really impacted by Prince artistry and what he brought to the table.
Yeah, for sure. I actually ended up one night in Dave Chappelle's hotel room. Don't think anything weird. There's a bunch of girls and stuff. But I asked him about that Paisley Park experience, and he just looked at me. He was like, "Wow, man." He's like, "You remember that?" And then he was like, I was like, "Yeah, I was there." He was like, "Wow. You were there?"
So you're talking to Dave Chapelle about being at Paisley Park in 1995.
Yeah. And I mean, that was pretty much the end of the conversation, but because we were amongst other people and there was a lot of conversations going on, but I brought it up briefly and that he was like, "What?"
Yeah, he remembered the set though and the whole deal. And I'll tell you what, that was once again before Dave Chapelle was Dave Chapelle. I'd never really heard of Dave Chapelle before at that point, and we're sitting out there. And in 1995, that dude was funny. And what they show you on the VH1 kind of deal is only like a snippet, right? Like he did a full set, and that night, you know, with the VH1 Love for One Another program, they had him, and then they had Nona Gay, who came up and did a rendition of her father's Inner City Blues, right? And that was, I mean, I just remember Aaron, the white bodyguard dude, walking her up onto the stage, and I was just like, oh man, that's Nona Gay. And she brought it. I mean, and then the NPG did a whole set, and they had The Ride, if you recall that, and they also had Days of Wild, which was fantastic. That was probably the first real release of Days of Wild out into the ether. Was vis-a-vis this
tape.
Yeah, vis-a-vis this program, I guess, with kind of a mini movie on VH1. So we'll find a link of that and post it for people. If you haven't seen it, there are some really, really, really cool things. I mean, Prince is rocking the slave on his cheek. It's the same stage setup as the Gold video, same setup as Rock and Roll is Alive. Yeah. So he was really delivering a lot of content at that time, despite his foibles and battle with the record execs. He was putting content to the street, and that whole thing was really cool. And then so he does that. That's got to be October where he's filming that, maybe September. He's got the Dave Chapelle. I mean, it's all kind of one long night. The crews are there with the big cameras, etc. And then it
was exciting.
Yeah, it was fun, man. You're just like, what the heck?
What's gonna happen next? I have no idea what's gonna happen.
And then
like Paisley Park.
Yeah, that's how it rolled. And then all of a sudden, it comes December or January, and you're like, oh, this just got released on VH1, and I was there.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, it's fun to be part of that, and then know, like, okay, they're pulling all this together, and Prince is just out there working. And I love, I mean, Days of Wild is, like, that's my song, right?
Right.
Like, that is, like, you asked me what my number one favorite song in the history of forever and ever is, of all songs in the universe, and Days of Wild is it. Right? And Days of Wild, I mean, people say, well, why that song?
You like a lot of songs. You like a lot of good songs, too.
No, I do like a lot of good songs. At least I like to think I do. But Days of Wild was like quintessential Paisley Park. Days of Wild embodies all that was the vibe of Prince from 1995 when I entered the scene until he died, in 2016. And truth be told, I mean, that song still carries on momentum and movement.
Right.
From now until forever for me, man. It's a freezer burn compared to Cool.
I think it's interesting, everybody has their different eras of Prince. And, like, for you and I, the Days of Wild is, like, the golden years.
Yeah.
No pun intended on the gold experience. But it's, like, the golden years. And it's like they always say, like, I wish somebody would have told me.
Yeah.
When I was in the golden years, while I was in the golden years.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the song, it's interesting because I was talking to our boy Keith, and he was we're going to get him an interview. He went to a lot of this
Keith
stuff.
coming on?
Keith needs to come on. Shout out to Keith, represent. That's our boy. Keith, we got stories. So when Keith pops, y'all better buckle up. So, when I was talking to Keith about it one time, and this was before Prince passed, I was like, you know what? If Prince wanted to release a box set, I'm talking like 4, 6, 10 discs of only Days of Wild recordings. Like, I'm talking, this is the studio version. This is the December 9th.
San Francisco.
I'm talking
Los Angeles.
Because, I've seen him do that song, or I saw him do that song. I guess I'm not going to see it again until I'm on the other side. I saw him do that song. It had to have been 80, 90 times, right? And every time it was, a little bit different, a little bit nuanced, a little bit, know, and that 95.
But it always had that loop.
Yeah, it always had that loop, and they would hit it. I remember we were at a party. This had to have been early 2000s, and Prince was playing. This was around about the time of the celebrations, a little after that, and he was jamming, and it was in the small room, Friday night party, 2, 3 in the morning, and Prince is doing Prince, and the band's playing, and Prince is like, "Hey, we're taking requests," right? Because this is what he would do. Like, he wasn't just kind of like aloof to the crowd,
right?
Like, we were part of the experience, and he says, "I'm taking requests," right? And somebody from the crowd's like, "America." And Prince is like, all right. And, he just freaking grabs that bass and is like, and he just, like, jams. Like, it's like,
right.
And he plays, like, 16 bars on it, right? And he gives this look, and he's like, takes his hand and cuts the band off and, kind of looks at this. He's like, I'm not feeling that. Cool Prince style, right? Like, he wasn't, he didn't explain or elaborate, not overly emotion, but just like, next. And I was standing, dude. I remember this clear as day. I was standing, I was stage center, maybe like 12 feet back, right? Because I was no longer had to be in the front row. It's 2000. I was like 12 feet back. And he's like, next, right? And the crowd just kind of like takes a minute. And I go, Days of Wild, kind of shout it out.
Yeah.
And he takes his bass, turns, looks at me, like literally Prince, like he looked through the crowd at me, and he was like, cool. No, I shit you not. That was the quote.
Hey, check 1, 2. All right, we're back.
We're back. So he looked at me.
Technical difficulties, but we're back.
Yeah, I got pumped up, and we're like on this little station. I start pounding the desk, and then it's like just, but I get pumped up about
Something
these
quit.
things. Something quit. Anyway, so Prince is like, cool. And then they go into like a 20-minute rendition of Days of Wild.
Yeah.
And that was Paisley Park, right? And Days of Wild, I think, for Prince, like if you get into the lyrics and if you think about it, and my analysis of the song is this, right? Essentially, the Days of Wild, he's writing this at the time of the record company and the record executives. He's putting this on wax in 94, maybe writing it in 93, and he's thinking about like who is he going to be as a human being and what's his story going to be and how's he going to move into like this level of freedom, etc. And I believe he's using kind of wild, contrasting it with like domesticated, right? So if you think of like we have like a domesticated animal, we have like a wild animal, somebody that's free roaming the wilderness, right? And the domesticated animal is being controlled by forces above them, right? And I think within kind of the paradigm of the record industry and Warner Brothers, I think Prince felt like he was being domesticated, right? He was being held back.
Right.
His creativity was being stifled. They weren't allowing him to release records. You know, that new Aretha Franklin movie's out, right?
Yep.
And you remember Prince was like, hey, yo, Aretha Franklin back in the day, she was releasing 3-4 albums a year, right? And you're telling me I got to wait every 2-3 years? He's like, no,
Boring.
you're not going to domesticate me like that. The music's got to get free. It's got to get out there, right? And that's ultimately when he does the song that gets released, when he does the version that gets released on Crystal Ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was like a glorious day when that disc arrived, and it said
Those
days
discs.
of those discs, right? You got all the discs. You got Kama Sutra, The Truth, the 3 albums of Crystal Ball, and track 1, right, is Days of Wild, recorded December 9, 1995 at Paisley Park. And that show, they go to Hawaii after that. Maite's at the show, and I mean, they play some jams during that show, man. They are just, they're just killing it. They play Vicky Waiting, which it was always like, I was like, oh, dude, they added that to the set. They got, in the set, I was just reading it tonight, they had the Love Thy Will Be Done from Marquita, just got released on their originals. Like,
Right.
Probably my number one favorite song for another artist that he did. I mean, just a beautiful song. I mean, they were doing all kinds of cool songs, and he brought it to Hawaii, and things started to quiet down from a show perspective after that December 9th gig, right? But he does Days of Wild in that set, and that's what gets released on the Crystal Ball album. And I mean, he just brings that song, right? Turn the cameras off.
Right.
Ooh, here we go.
Yeah. Justin, shut the lights off. I always like that song, I think, like in all the different renditions too, because he was playing the bass on that song. Just the one-eye bass, like, it was so awesome when he was playing that bass. I loved when he played that bass and he slapped that bass around.
Yeah, talk about Prince as a bass player. Have you seen, I mean, you're kind of like a music guy. I mean, anything quite like him playing the bass?
I mean, he has his own style. I mean, there's a lot of people that would debate on who the best bass player is. I'm not going to say he's the best bass player, but he was super funky, and it was just different. It would just change it up. When he got on the bass, it would just change it up.
Yeah. And that night, I mean, December 9th, 1995, I was out there. I was on a date. Jamie Volrath, represent. I think you were there. I think Keith was there. We were stage left. So right-hand side of the stage, big screens. The place is packed. Days of Wild's there. And we've been listening to the song, like, however long. Like, he'd been playing it most of the summer. And now he's putting it on wax. And we didn't know he's going to release this as part of Crystal Ball, right? He's just there. And that night he gives away the Slave tape and the New World, right? So it's a tape.
Yeah.
And it's a Christmas gift. And it's wrapped in paper. It's a Christmas gift for, the fans.
I don't remember it being wrapped.
No, it was wrapped.
I'm sure you're right.
Keith's got, and I will post it on our page. I think I did already. Keith's got the wrapping paper that it comes in, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't on the version because he kind of edits it down. But during Days of Wild, he gets into like the preachy Prince moment, right? Which he'd been doing a lot, talking about the record industry, and he's essentially
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great, right? Because and we're young, we don't know anything about anything, but he's pushing this message of like, hey, I am gonna change the rules associated with the music business. So you get into this show, right? December 9th, 1995, and you get into this show, and he gives you the tape. It's in the wrapping paper. You're like, ooh, I just got a gift, right? Because you just were planning on going to a gig, and then you get this thing, and I wore the heck out of that Slave New World tape, dude, because it was just like singles on both sides.
In the Honda.
I put it in the Honda, and it would play, and the Honda had, because this was fancy, LXI, represent 87, and the Honda would like flip it over, so you'd listen to like the one side, and they'd be like, and then it would flip over and be like, New World, and then just like, oh, dude, that hit is just coming. I wore that tape out over and over and over again, dude. I'd listen to those two songs like on repeat until the NYC tape came out that he released live from NYC in 1997. That's where the Slave New World tape just kept getting played. Anyway, I digress. So he releases the tape, or gives the tape out when you're there, and he's giving this little sermonette on kind of the record industry, and he's like, hey, we don't need We don't need these record companies getting in the middle. And he's like, I want all of y'all to raise these tapes in the air, right? And you got 1,000 people taking their tapes, raising them in the air. And he's like, we don't got no middleman here, right? He's kind of waving his hand between the crowd and him. We don't have no middleman here.
He needed to prove that it could work.
No, I don't got no middleman. There's nobody in there. I bring the music to you. And he was like, is that all right? And everyone's like, heck yeah, that's all right. I just got a free tape, and you're jamming. You're playing Days of the Wild. And he's like, yeah, this is how we're going to do things moving forward.
Yep.
And I'm creating a new reality because I'm not going to let these record companies domesticate me. I'm going to move into something very new, right? Because if you still got loot,
who's a fool?
Who's a fool, right? Like, I don't need to be domesticated by your paradigm, your thinking. I can go out there, do my thing, and make money and be a professional, own my masters, and ultimately have control of my own destiny and not have to play by your rules.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's just it's a beautiful story, right? So he goes through that deal, and you know, the cut that gets on Crystal Ball is kind of shortened down and edited, you know. But that's ultimately him saying free the slave, right? And if you think about it.
You know who was saying that, though?
Oh, I do know who was saying that. We talked about it in episode 4. Free the slave, right?
Yeah.
Play that
bass. Motherfucking bass.
Yeah, and you know, free the slave. And I think for Prince, as he's saying that, as he's having us say it, right? I believe that this is one of the powerful things about this song, right? It is an internalization of what he wants, right? And then he's owning it at that level, right? Because it takes a certain level of courage, right? So he's affirming, free the slave. I'm not going to be part of this system anymore. Free the slave. I'm not going to participate in the way these guys got it. And he's affirming it deep in himself. And I ultimately believe that the guy continues to play that song and work that song and do that song because he's like, oh, this is like my hype up self-talk.
Right.
Like, I'm like,
keep going.
I'm ready to battle. Life's going to get me.
Yep.
It's going to hit me down. These people aren't going to want me to do it. But you know what? These are the days of wild. Like, I'm going to live this wild. I'm doing this, right?
And I'm going to lead this.
Yeah. And I think it becomes his anthem, and it's my number one favorite song of forever in all of eternity because it becomes his anthem to really set his course. And not just set the course, it becomes the ongoing affirmation, and ultimately the feedback loop is the manifestation of his actual freedom from this machine. And he never stops playing it. He brings it all around the world, does version after version. It's in set list after set list. And he continues to say, hey, dude, I'm not going to be held back by this machine. Yep. I'm going to be me. I'm going to wear what another won't wear, right? I'm going to do this thing, and I'm doing it, dude. I'm doing me 110%, and these people can't hold me back.
And a lot of times, too, his encore song, you know, where he would play it at the end. I remember, I can't even remember which city it was, but it was over, I believe it was in Europe, and he was playing it. And I remember Trevor, his head of security, was off to the side, and he would just kept going on it and going on it. And he was looking at Trevor, and Trevor was telling him exactly how many seconds he had left.
Oh, yeah.
Until he went overtime.
Yeah.
And then you got to pay
the fines
in the arenas, the unions, because they have to work overtime. And Trevor was right over on the side and he was like flashing him like 20. He was like, cool. He went back and he was playing. He was like, sing it, y'all. And then all of a sudden he was like 10. He was like, on the 1. Boom. Good night. Ended it and just walked off stage. He was like right to the second.
Right to the second. Here we go. Because he could time it perfectly. I mean, I admire him. I admire his courage. I admire his ability to kind of just embrace something and just live that out. You know, like, I'm going to be this. And then he incorporates it. And not only does he like own it for himself, but then he shares it in a way that says, hey, y'all don't have to be domesticated either, right?
Yep.
Y'all can throw them up. Y'all can bring that wild sign and
come with me.
Let's do this, right? And I think that's the legacy of Prince is that, hey, we can all get wild, right? We don't have to be who we were. We can change. We can grow. We can embody our own stuff, right? So that's some of the lessons of Prince. I mean, that's how he's influenced me. So I mean, this was fun talking about it. Y'all ever see me at a party? Y'all ever see me out? You just want to talk to me about Days of Wild? Like, we can talk because, dude, I'll talk to anybody about Days of Wild. Like it's one of my favorite things in the entire world to do. So come on, check it out.
Mark,
we'll talk.
Mark, you might write a book one time about the song "The Days of Wild."
I should. I mean, it's going to be a chapter in my book, y'all. I'm working on it, so it's going to be a chapter in my book. Y'all can read it, and we can just discuss it for now until, I mean, Lord willing, in the next 50, 60 years, we'll be able to chat about this song because it is truly amazing. And I got even more stories. I'm not even done sharing yet.
No.
I just got to tell you one more. I was not going to, but we were out there after the Emancipation Tour, Jam of the Year tour, right? So Prince did 2 nights Jam of the Year tour, and he did the after parties there, right? G Sharp played on the after parties. G Sharp from used to be a Bunkers with Mambo's Combo and now hangs out, musician, whole host of people. They were doing a lot of Sly and the Family Stone stuff, whatever. Anyway, one of the after shows, Prince is doing Days of Wild, and he's playing the keys, not the bass. He's playing the keys. And me and Cozy from Chicago, dude, right stage, and he flips, like we're singing the song with him, and Prince takes his microphone from the keyboard, turns it the other direction, flips it from one side, like facing him, twists, and then turns the whole mic stand to Cozy and I, and now Cozy and I are essentially
the chorus,
bro, the song, singing Days of Wild. I mean, I got seriously Days of Wild stories coming out my ears. I love that, man. Seriously, it's fantastic. Well, thanks y'all for listening. Dustin, Dudley D, where can these people find us on?
Oh man, we're on all the social media platforms. You can find us on Twitter, Paisley_Nights, or search Paisley Nights in the Google machine, and you'll come to all of our pages, and you'll find us on every major streaming platform, which you're listening to us on one right now. So you found us. Yeah. So, find us, subscribe, write reviews. We really appreciate the feedback. I know a lot of you have all been hitting us up. When you coming out with another episode? So here we go. We dropping it. But give us reviews, hit us up, 5 stars, share on your pages, share with your friends. We're trying to build our listenership. We got our first sponsor, WilliamDrewPhotography.com. Check it out. Use Paisley Nights. $19.99 off, 19.99% off of your first order. It's fantastic stuff. We got the next episode coming up. It's queued up. My boy Rich Benson. Rich Benson's got stories, man. He's been around. He's done some stuff. He's a documentarian as well, man. He's got an archive of just stuff. So Rich is cool. So get ready for episode 12. We're gonna keep bringing episodes to you. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you hanging out with us and digging our vibe on all of these stories. Dudley D, anything else? That's about it.
All right, this is Paisley Nights. We are chronicling the Days of Wild. My name is Mark Bonde, here with my co-host
DJ Dudley D.
DJ Dudley D. We out of here. Peace and
be wild.